Terminator 7 is in development, and we have got some shocking news. James Cameron just labeled the movie that put him on the map as outdated. Terminator 1 is pretty obsolete. James Cameron talks about how the sci-fi genre has evolved over the last 40 years. James Cameron is tackling the current challenges in the sci-fi genre, especially with the development of Terminator 7. Despite being tied up with the upcoming Avatar sequels, it's confirmed that Cameron is working on the script for Terminator 7. After directing the iconic Terminator and Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Cameron stepped back from the franchise but returned as a producer to help shape the story for the latest installment, Terminator Dark Fate. In an interview with The Guardian, James Cameron shares his thoughts on how the sci-fi genre has evolved since his early Terminator films, largely because real-world technology has rapidly advanced and reshaped society in just a few decades. He's open about some of his earlier work in the genre not holding up over time due to these changes, though he acknowledges the films that have aged well. Cameron also talks about how these continuous technological shifts make it challenging to create a truly relevant and compelling story for Terminator 7. Here's what he said. "People pay the compliment, oh, it still holds up. I actually think that's true of Terminator 2 qualitatively. I think Terminator 1 qualitatively is pretty obsolete, although story-wise it's still pretty intriguing. There's some interest around this idea that it was a bit prescient on certain things, like the emergence of AI, the potential existential threat of AI, which is transforming our world before our eyes." He continued, "We're at a point right now where it gets harder and harder to write science fiction because we're living in a science fiction world on a day-to-day basis. I'm working through some of the themes that I want to bring to a new Terminator, or possibly even a kind of reboot of a larger story framework, and it's difficult right now because I want to let the smoke clear on the whole thing. That's going to be a ride that we're going to be watching for probably the rest of human history, but certainly the next few years are going to be quite telling." It's not just sci-fi that's struggling to keep up with the real-world changes. The Terminator franchise isn't alone in facing the challenge of crafting stories that remain relevant amid rapid societal transformations. Netflix's upcoming dystopian film Uglies, based on the 2005 novel, is a good example. The story featured technology where Uglies could see what they'd look like as pretties, which was ahead of its time, similar to Instagram filters before Instagram even existed. If this technology makes it into the film adaptation, it won't have the same futuristic impact it did almost 2 decades ago. As Cameron works on developing Terminator 7, he can focus on its themes and commentary first, recognizing that these aspects can remain timeless, even if the sci-fi technology in the story eventually becomes outdated. Beyond sci-fi and dystopian tales, political dramas and satires have also faced challenges due to the increasingly polarized nature of real-world politics. Shonda Rhimes mentioned cutting certain storylines from Scandal because they were too similar to real-life events happening as the show was being produced. Similarly, The Boys on Prime Video has occasionally predicted real-world events with its exaggerated satire, which has actually contributed to its success. While technology and stories may eventually become outdated, the themes and commentary can stand the test of time, part of the reason Terminator 2 still resonates today. As Cameron continues developing Terminator 7, he can prioritize these enduring elements, knowing they can remain relevant even if the sci-fi tech in the story eventually feels dated. Although the Avatar franchise will likely keep Cameron occupied for now, it will be interesting to see what he brings to the table for Terminator 7 and how it might differ from previous films in the series. I'm not sure about the story being obsolete, but casting the same old guy as the Terminator over and over is definitely getting old for me. So here are a few actors who could replace Arnold Schwarzenegger. Replacing Arnold won't be easy, considering he's such a unique and iconic action star, with his name practically synonymous with the Terminator franchise. Whoever steps into his role will have some seriously big boots to fill, literally. But with so many great action stars out there, it's not impossible. From Jason Statham to Charlize Theron, there are plenty of actors who could take the lead in this franchise. The first one is Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth has the charisma, screen presence, and physicality to step into Schwarzenegger's shoes as the new face of the Terminator franchise. In the Extraction movies, Hemsworth's character Tyler Rake is basically a Terminator with a pulse, an unstoppable killing machine tasked with protecting important people from powerful enemies. Plus, Hemsworth is set to play a tough-as-nails character from a post-apocalyptic future in George Miller's latest Mad Max film. After that, he could easily slip on a pair of sunglasses and take on the role of a Terminator. Another one is Karen Gillan. If the producers of Terminator 7 are looking for a fresh take instead of another muscle-bound action hero who would inevitably be compared to Arnold, Karen Gillan might be an excellent choice. Since her role as Amy Pond in Doctor Who, Gillan has been a standout in sci-fi. Over the past decade, she's portrayed a complex cyborg with a heart of gold as Nebula in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, proving she could handle a Terminator role with ease. Another one is Andrew Koji. Andrew Koji is not only an emerging star but also a skilled martial artist, making him a strong candidate for a Terminator role. Known for his portrayal of Assam in Warrior, as well as Storm Shadow in Snake Eyes and Yuchi, the father Kimura in Bullet Train, Koji has consistently shown he can convincingly play a tough-as-nails badass. If Terminator 7 features an android programmed for martial arts, Koji would be an excellent choice to take on the role. Moving on, we have Yorma Toma. Yorma Toma, known for his role as the invincible commando Atami Corpi in Sisu, would be a great fit for a Terminator role. In Sisu, Toma plays a one-man death squad likened to John Wick and Rambo. If his character's human skeleton were replaced with a reinforced mimetic polyalloy, he'd essentially become a Terminator. Toma could bring some of the gritty edge of the original Terminator flick back to the franchise, offering a refreshing contrast to years of blockbuster spectacle. Now, the next one is my favorite, Bill Skarsgard. Skarsgard could be an interesting outside-the-box casting choice. Bill could be a fascinating and unconventional choice for the lead role in Terminator 7. Known for his roles as a bloodthirsty monster in It, a hardened killer in Boy Kills World, and his unsettling performance in Barbarian, Skarsgard excels at straddling the line between benign and creepy. Unlike the traditional hero or villain roles in the Terminator series, a Terminator character with an ambiguous trustworthiness would be intriguing. Skarsgard would be perfect for bringing that complexity to the role. Another option could be Iko Uwais. Imagine a Terminator movie with the intensity of The Raid. Iko Uwais, renowned for his role as Rama in the Raid movies, is one of the top martial arts stars today. With standout performances in Mile 22, The Night Comes for Us, and the Netflix series Wu Assassins, Uwais brings a unique energy to every project. Casting him in Terminator 7 could open the door to a new Terminator model with a more agile build and a martial arts-based fighting style, adding a fresh and dynamic element to the franchise. And lastly, we have Jason Statham. Jason Statham is one of the few genuine movie stars who can attract audiences just by his name on the marquee. Known for playing emotionless killing machines in roles like Arthur Bishop in The Mechanic, Chev Chelios in the Crank movies, Deckard Shaw in the Fast and Furious franchise, and Frank Martin in the Transporter series, Statham excels in these parts. He'd be a perfect fit for the Terminator role and a worthy successor to Schwarzenegger. Statham and Terminator 7 would make a great pairing. And that's a wrap for today's video. Who do you think would make the best Terminator? Chris Hemsworth, Karen Gillan, or maybe someone else entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more updates. Hit the bell icon so you never miss out on our latest content. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.